Hi, guys. Welcome to the Peter Vetb Podcast. This episode, we're going to get into some creepy, spine chilling story. At least I think it's spine chilling because this is a true story that really happened to me, and I have witnessed it with my own two pair of eyes. And I've said this a lot that when I get into my psychic mediumship reading work, I don't see spirit or hear them physically. I kind of see them in my mind's eyes. So when I point to like in between my brow, that's where your third eye chakra, your third eye vortex, that's where it is in between the brows. And I've always said that I'm glad that when I communicate with spirits, I see them in my mind's eyes, or other times I get like impressions. So it's more of a mental um, connection. But if I ever see them physically with my own two eyes, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I would hate this work because you're not supposed to see your loved ones like that physically. I mean, by all means, if you do see them physically like that, that's also a powerful sign. But come on, think about it. At the end of the day, I'm a little beach and I'm a scaredy cat. But this incident, I still to this day kind of don't know how to make of it. And what's creepy about this too is that I'm not the only one that have gone through this. So if you are ready to hear some creepy story, listen up. Listen up, motherfuckers. Cue the intro. Testing mic check. I talk to dead people and I still have time to slay. Dead or alive, I keep it cute. And you're listening to the Peter Vetb Podcast. Okay, so I don't really know how to start this story because there has been some creepy things that's been happening leading up to me recording this episode. Um something was I was so this is I'm not starting the story yet, but there's a reason why this is all happening for this episode because I feel like Spirit wanted me to talk about this on this episode. Somehow I woke up in the morning and I had this like idea that just kind of like clicking in my head, like, oh my gosh, talk about that time when you have seen the shadow man. And it was like what, 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was running in my mind, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust why I'm feeling this way and why I'm hearing voices in my mental head like saying like do the episode. And okay, so I got up, cleaned the dish, and showered. I came to pick up my phone and checked my Facebook, and the first thing that popped up was this. Let me show you. It was a Facebook reel, and it showed this old woman sitting next to this black cat, and it says the Hat Man, and that's how it was. And that's how it opened. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it, but that's it, right? And then it popped into another clip that says the title says The Watcher. That's what I was going to record about because I have seen this man. And I was like, fuck. Okay, I have to record this episode. And I called my friend up. I was like, okay, the spirits are talking to me. I don't know how far this is going to reach people, but if you have experienced this, let me know, comment below. But we're going to get into this story now. So, this happened about, if I can go back track, it would be maybe 8 years ago. This is way before I had a spiritual awakening that I can communicate with the afterlife. And I was living in East Boston at that time with my best friend, Nestor. And I kind of kept this away from people, but I was super depressed. And the reason why I'm bringing up that part in my life is because I think that's the reason why I have seen the shadow man. And during that time, I didn't like where I was at in my life. I was making pretty good money working for Tom Ford Beauty, but I always kind of like didn't really care for what was happening in front of me. I was always thinking about the future, and I looked back into the past a lot. So it was never about in the moment. So I figured, okay, let me turn on my grinder. And if you guys don't know what grinder is, it's a gay dating app, gay dating hookup app. I wanted to connect with someone because when you're depressed, what do you feel the most? You feel lonely. So I met up with this guy. Um, we'll leave him anonymous. We dated for a little bit through the summer. He would always drive from New Hampshire just to come see me. This one time he was like, okay, I want you to come over to New Hampshire and hang out with my friends. I was like, yeah, of course. And mind you, I was working a full-time job. I come back home and I would go to hip hop rehearsal. It was a lot. And then the weekend finally approached, and he came all the way to Boston just to pick me up. It was a summer day. It was a beautiful summer day, and I was excited. I packed my things and we hit the road. And we went all the way to New Hampshire. And before we got home, I remember him stopping at this really nice place where they had Whole Foods. And he was also like a professional gymnast, so he eat pretty healthy. Wasn't pretty healthy, he was like super healthy. Me, I was just shoving like nasty ass food in my body because when she is hungry, she is hungry. But anyway, so I was super exhausted that day. It's because from like working and dancing. And when we got to Whole Food, and this again, let me tell you, this was like bright summer day. And he looked at me, he's like, do you want to just stay inside? I was like, yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna like take a power nap. Those that know me, I think this is like a part of my ability to communicate with the other side. It's like a meditative thing. And when I realized that I didn't do it intentionally since I was a kid, I do power naps. And my friends and family would tell you, like, I only need like 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm like, after that, I would like be super energized after like these power naps. And now that I've dived deeper into this gift, I realize that's actually when it's time for me to meditate. I don't need an energy drink. I don't need no shots, no nothing to get me going. Just give me like 15 minutes. And that's what I needed. And he kind of, see that about me, that I kind of need my naps. So then he was like, okay, I'm just going to run into the store. It's going to take about 15 minutes at most. And you can just stay in here. I was like, okay, cool. So then um, I watched him walk into the store, and he had his sunroof open. And then I put the passenger seat, I reclined the passenger seat back so that way I can nap comfortably. And this was in the parking lot. So the sun wasn't beaming into the sunroof, which was really nice. So I remember just laying down, and I can feel the breeze from the outside like brushing my face, and it was really nice. And the moment I closed my eyes, it was maybe took like 5 seconds for me to like fall into a deep sleep or a deep nap. Um, I don't know if any of you experience sleep paralysis, and this is where it gets fucking super creepy. Usually when you get sleep paralysis, before the quote unquote, when people say like there's a demon on top of you like fucking raping your ass and shit, like fucking stomping on top of your damn chest, and some people just can't breathe, some people are trying to fight. You all know how sleep paralysis works. The thing with my sleep paralysis is that I'm so used to it. I still do get creeped out, but it always start with this buzzing noise first. And the only way that I can describe it is that it sounds like a plastic wrap, like in my ear. And the only way that I can have you experience what I've gone through this, I'm gonna pull something up real quick just so I can replicate the noise. This is this is pocket tissue, and the moment I hear this, I know that I'm gonna have a sleep paralysis episode, and it goes like this. sorry. I'm smiling right now is because that's exactly what it sounds like. And it would buzz in my ear for like a good, let's just say 30 seconds. And that's when I know, like, oh shit, Peter, let's prepare yourself for this demon that's going to get on top of your chest and start smooching your face. So then that's when I was like, fuck, I can't get up. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, that in the Khmer superstitions, they say that when you have Khmer literally translate into some demon or ghost is on top of you. That just means like sleep paralysis. They always say wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers, and it'll help you snap out of it, and it'll help you fight whatever it is that's on top of you. Bitch, I tried that many times. I don't know if my toes are not attached to my feet when that happens. I don't know if they cut off my fingers, because every time I do that, that shit don't work. But anyway, I tried wiggling my feet. I tried wiggling my fingers because it felt kind of evil. Whatever I was experiencing, I was like, oh man, like this is so different from all the other sleep paralysis. And I kept trying to get up. I remember I kept trying to pick myself up from laying down on the passenger side, and then that's when I got the strength to really pick myself up. And usually, sometimes sleep paralysis, the way I experience it, is just that I either just lay there and just fight it, or just try to wiggle my toe. And I kind of normally do like deep, big breaths. Like I take deep breaths to release that energy. But this one just felt so different. I just knew something was just lurking around. And for some reason, as I was um as I was like trying to pull myself up, and I was pretty surprised that I had the strength to kind of open my eyes a little bit, and I was seeing like the highways of the car going back and forth. And mind you, it was also pretty quiet in the parking lot. It felt like as if I was alone, and like no one was around me. It was just me in that parking lot. When for real, there's other cars that was parked there. It really felt like that. So as I picked up my head and I can see the side mirror, the rear view mirror on the right side, the passenger side, I looked over, and with my own two eyes, I also got the strength to open my eyes, and I kept hearing like a man trying to talk to me. And then when I look into the rear view mirror, I can see the back of the trunk of the car. There was a man, a dark shadow figure, and this is in broad daylight, okay? He was super tall. He was probably like 8 feet tall. It just feels like that. He was very slim, and he had a top hat on, just like the picture I showed you. And he just stood there and stared at me. So me and him was basically having like a stare off, and it was almost like, oh shit, sorry, I just got goosebumps. I can literally remember that feeling of me like kind of talking to him back and forth. It was almost like him trying to say like, hey, we're here. I just want to let you know that. It was almost like that, like, and it was his way of saying like, you're meant to see this, and you're never going to get away, and this is this is real. Like he was letting it known that you're not making this shit up. It's not in your head. And I just stood there and stared at him while he's staring back at me. And mind you, if I'm gonna pick the day and time, it's probably like 3 in the afternoon. It was beautiful, and it was just this man, just a dark figure, and he had broad shoulders with a top hat, staring back at me. And then that's when I got the courage to release the sleep paralysis, and that's when I like got up, and I was sweating. I remember I was sweating like super. It was super hot. It got hot because sleep paralysis, for some reason, I don't know if you guys can um relate to this, but it always feels hot, right? It always feel like there's warmth followed by that plastic noise, that buzzing noise that I had you listen earlier. Well, at least that's what I feel. And mind you, on a hot summer day, I'm fucking nervous as hell. I'm fucking scared. And I'm going through this shit. Having a stare off with some man that I don't know. I got up, I took a deep breath. I was like, holy shit, what was that? And I like looked back into the back of the car. He's not there anymore. And I kept asking myself, like, wait, did that really happen? I even like pulled the where the, what do you call them, visors? Is that what it is? The mirror thing down just to open the, just so I could see if he was still in the back. He was not there. So then the boy, we call him the boy just to leave his name anonymous. He came out of, I see him coming out of Whole Foods. He got in and he looked at me. He goes, "How was your nap?" I didn't answer him. I was just kind of like, "Yeah, it was good." And he's like, "I got us ice cream. I got us some really nice treats and stuff for tonight because we're gonna watch movies and hang out at his place with his friends." And then he looked at me. He's like, "Dude, you look like you saw a ghost or something." Bitch, when he said that, I wanted to open my mouth and be like, "Cause I sure did saw a ghost, motherfucker." I was so scared. Like I didn't know what to do. I wasn't scared, but it was just I was not scared. Let's just put it that way. It was kind of, did it really happen? Did I really just see some man, a dark shadow with a top hat, and where me and him are like having a stare off and telepathically communicating to each other? So I kept my mouth shut through the whole entire day, and it was running through my head the whole entire day leading up until the night, right? Um, Sorry, I need to lubricate my throat real quick. Okay. So we got to his apartment, and it was around like, we were all hanging out. It was probably like around 8 or 9 o'clock. It gets dark, and I am a horror film fanatic. I'm not like a fanatic, but I love my horror films. Of course, if we're gonna spend the night together, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna entertain, we're all gonna watch scary ass movies. Okay, we're gonna leave the drama for some other night, the comedy for some other night. I wanna fucking get scared. So then him and his friends, they were all like, "Oh, since Peter's the guest, let's have you pick." And then I looked at them. I was like, "You guys like horror movies?" They were like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's find something really interesting." And then I was like, "Oh okay, let me find something." And then I looked at my phone and I was searching top scary movies on Netflix or whatever streaming app, and I couldn't find anything. And then every time that I want to watch something, one of them was like, "Oh, I've seen it, but we can watch it again." I was like, "No, but I like to watch something that none of us have seen, even if it's bad. We can talk about it after." I love doing that with my friends. But then all of a sudden, I was like, "Okay, guys, there's no movies. If we can't pick any movies, how about you guys? Are you guys into like horror documentaries? Like like haunted homes and stuff?" They're like, "Yeah, no, let's do it." Like, okay. And then I search top horror documentary, right? I'm gonna do that right now. Sorry. Documentary about sleep paralysis, because this is what popped up when I was the first thing that popped up. Oh my gosh. What the hell? Sorry. This is the first thing that popped up. And okay, it says, when I was searching, the first thing that popped up, it was this trailer for this documentary about sleep paralysis, and it says the documentary is called The Nightmare Official Trailer. And this is the picture that popped up. Was a hat man standing in that red room, exactly just like that. And the moment I saw that, that's when everything came back again. I was like, fuck, this looked like the same guy that I was staring at. And without thinking, without hesitating, without like questioning anything, I was like, guys, this is what we're watching, the nightmare, because I was super curious. Like I want to know why I'm seeing this, because this is the second time. And then when I watched, so we end up watching the documentary, and um the first 3 minutes into the documentary, I just felt uneasy. And this is where I've just learned that I wasn't the only one. I am not the only one who have seen the Hat Man. And that's what was fucking freaky. Now I'm gonna Google something. I don't want to do Chat GPT, but um, sighting of the Shadow Man, Hat Man, sleep paralysis. I'm saying sighting. Okay.
The Hat Man is a widely reported frightening figure, often seen during sleep paralysis. People describe him as having a wide-brimmed hat. Some believe it's supernatural, while scientists explain it as a common hallucination during REM sleep.
Okay, whatever the fuck she just said about scientists who hallucination during their REM sleep. Yes, it's a hallucination, but what are the odds of people experiencing this man? This exact same man? Is there something going on that we don't know? And this is why it like freaks me out a little bit. I don't know why I'm saying it freaks me out or being scared. If anything, I'm intrigued. That's the proper term for it. I could not believe it, and apparently the appearance is a tall, solid black silhouette or a shadow figure wearing a wide brim hat, fedora top hat or cowboy hat, and a long trench coat or cloak. The context is that it appears during sleep paralysis, a state where the brain wakes up and the body remains paralyzed, often occurring while sleeping, falling asleep, or upon waking. Feeling sensations, intense fear, terror, a sense of dread, and a feeling of being watched or choked. Never felt like I was choked. Behavior often stands silently in the corner of the room near a doorway or hovers over the sleeper. Oh, bitch! No, thank you. No, thank you. I know there has to be some sort of explanation. I not like a pure explanation like why this man exists, but I know that there's something going on that we don't know. And this also kind of leaves room that there is something else beside us human beings here. And I'm speaking more of the spirit world. And then as as I dive deeper into my psychic mediumship, a lot of my friends had asked, okay, well, how do you explain about that hat man then? And I look at it because I do the work of the light, which means I'm able to help people become beyond them, to be in a better state of mind. That's my job, and I love what I do. And my mentor has said this: remember, when you do the work of the light, there will be some darkness that comes in. Just like every other job that you do within your life, it could be 9 to 5. There's always going to be ups and downs. But the work that we do is some heavy shit, and enable for you to walk the path of the light. What they're going, what lurks behind the light, which is the darkness. I think because I didn't know that I was quote unquote gifted in this way, my spirit people wanted me to see things that is also lurking beyond this other realm that is just not the light, which is the Hat Man. You know, some people describe him as like the Reaper, deathly. But with me, it was a little different. Looking back to our little telepathic conversations that we had, maybe he is a cowboy. Maybe he's a cowboy with a cowboy hat because we having a stare off like we're about to shoot each other. I see it as because I was such in a low state in my life that my spirit people were able to be like, okay, this is him. And also, for some reason, I didn't feel like the Hat Man was malicious. I feel like the Hat Man made himself known to me as a way like, hey, get your shit together. Because if you keep feeling like your life is shitty and you're not in a happy place, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here waiting. And I don't want that because the feeling of it was really sad. He felt really sad to me more than scared, more than being scary. I'm That's what it is. He was very sad and he was very eerie. He was not angry, but I know that he's waiting. I know that he's waiting for something. Um and I know that when I die, I do not want to see him and I do not want to wait for him. But I would like to have conversations with him when I move on to the afterlife, I want to know what the fuck you're all about. Like what is it that you do? Like why are you here? But how I see it, I think there is some time essence here. This man is here for something. And he's making it known because I do the work of the light. So if you do experience sleep paralysis and you have experienced the shadow hat man, whatever the fuck he is, and whatever fedora hat he's wearing, please comment below because I would love to have a conversation about this because this shit is freaky. It's so freaky. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I want to say thank you for listening. Until next time, thank you for tuning into the Peter Vetb Podcast.